Thank you to Lord Licorice for providing some background, royalty-free background music. We are ROMHacking our good friend game Dead of the Brain. And I want to thank Oren Ronin, the translator of the Danganronpa Let's Play, who showed me message speed in this game. You can put it on high speed messages, which means when we start new game, let's make a new save state. Look how much easier that makes our life. The text is instantly there. Bang. Now I just need a fucking keystroke to do this, and yep. Alright. Let's review. What did we learn? Well, we learned Dead of the Brain is a really weird encoding system by which it uses katakana and kanji and shift.jis, but it has a weird like single byte mapping for hiragana. And this is all fine and well and good. Let me just lower the audio on my side. How does that help us? But I did a little straw poll, and I asked, do you want me to go over some things? Maybe I went too fast on some other stuff. So, real quick, let's check the old Twitter there. What should I talk about? Both of these. So, it's character encoding and hexadecimal. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I don't want to, but when you look at something like this, which is memory, and you see like all these weird numbers and the letters A through F, what's going on with this crazy stuff, you ask? So chat, I have a poll for you. Here and now. True or false, computers think in binary. I'll wait a moment for for the answers to... True. True. I'm seeing 2 trues. False, says Taladar. Fuck, Friar John got it. False, they don't think. You're right. Anyone who said true is a fucking snatcher, and I will see you later. Nuriana say has the right idea, which I think is actually the more robotic of the two, which is, can we get a definition of think in this case? No, of course, there are electrical signals and all that stuff. And because we wanted to note, these signals with numbers, but we could use base 10, which is what, we use in our day-to-day lives, probably because we have 10 fingers. Nobody's really sure. I think that's what anthropologists kind of came up with, though. But the point is that when we transmit electrical signals through wires and store them in magnetic hard drives and things like that, you encounter resistance and noise. So if you had something like, say, a full signal means a 9, and maybe 8/9 of the signal is like an 8, all the way down to 0. Maybe why is Notepad trying to complete like this stuff? Stop that. Maybe at some point, resistance and noise comes in, and a 9 becomes an 8, or a 1 becomes a 0, because this is real-world physics we're talking about, and like electrical energy dissipation and all that kind of crazy stuff. Oh, Egyptians used base 12. Fun fact, says Turnip199. At any rate, the point is that computer engineers back in the day decided at some point that it was more reliable to just test on the full presence or absence of electrical signal. Hence, we use 0 and 1, a base 2 numbering system in binary. So, here is an 8-bit instruction I just made up. Maybe it runs on a Nintendo. Hey, maybe it doesn't! Here's a 16-bit one I'm also going to make up. Oh, oops. There. And here is a 32-bit one I'm going to make up. This is getting really boring to write. So imagine if you had to tell someone about this, or like write it down for them in an email, or like do it in a punch card or something. I mean, this is really a giant pain in the ass. I'm even like forgetting to put ones with leading zeros for some reason. So this sucks. And what we'd really like to have is maybe some kind of system of notation for it. And hey, stop. Oh, this is a pain in my ass. Stop that Notepad++. Alright, so the thing about binary arithmetic is it works like our arithmetic. Exactly the same. We have less digits to work with, right? So in our arithmetic, you count 0, then you go to the next digit, 1, 2, there till 9. And then when you get to after 9, since there's no more digits to go through, you go back to 0, but you increment the digit to your left, like the 1 in the tens column. And you go up to 19, you do the same thing, increment it, until you get to 99, then you add 1 to the column to the left of that, etc., etc., etc. Binary works in exactly the same way. The only catch is, of course, you just have less numbers to work with. Alright, what does this have to do with hexadecimal, and what am I talking about? Alright, like I said, this is a pain in the ass to deal with, so let's do something else. Let's come up with a system for remembering these binary, for writing these numbers down, at least, right? So when we communicate with each other, we don't have to just use these, like, insanely long binary strings, etc. So how about, let's say we do this. Let's take every 2 binary numbers, right? I don't know why. Okay, well, I don't know why I did that, but anyway. And we'll chunk them together. So we'll make this one 0. We'll make this one a 1. We'll make this one a 2. We'll make this one a 3. In fact, let's use a base 4 number system just to remember it. So we'll make this 10. So we're doing the same thing as binary or our number system, only now we're only using 4 digits. Again, just for notation's sake. 20, etc. So now you can see, if I did that, instead of having to write 0110 110 in my 8-bit instruction below, now I can go back up and say this is actually 1, 2, right? Just going back up here. 0, 1 is a 1, 1, 0 is a 2. And then 10 is another 2. Just move it out here. And 11, I can see up there is a 3. So now this 8-bit string becomes a very simple base 4 number. I'm not going to complete this exercise for it. I'll just make it up as I go here. But as you can see, I can cut down the bits in half. Whoops. Except so there'll be 16 of those, etc. You get the idea. This is still not great. Why do I keep typing 4s? This is still not great, though. And I'd like to go a little further with it, because it's nice notation, but it's not really... It's not helpful. I'm not cutting it down enough. Let's try another one. Let's say, instead of that, we'll chunk binary into 3 digits at a time to notate it. Okay? And to do 3 digits at a time, we'll go with this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. And 7 is where I've got all 1s here. So we'll use a base 8 numbering system, so that'll be 10. And 1001 will be 11. All the way up through 17, and then we'll go to 20. So we're, again, a base 8 number system. Works the same as binary, works the same as number system you're all familiar with, works the same as that base 4 number system I made up before. This is called octal, by the way. It is used, but the only thing is that a lot of computer processors come in powers of 2, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, etc., 64-bit, etc. This, by the way, gets into computer engineering stuff, which I'm not super well-versed in, just to warn you, so I may, in fact, misspeak. But the point I'm getting at is, we could chunk this up a little better into 3 bits at a time. So 011 becomes 3, if I look at my table above. 010 becomes 2. Oh. Well. Huh, that's a problem. Yeah, the problem is, since this is all powers of 2, it doesn't divide well into 3, so... Alright, that's a pain. We can't use that either. So, we want a number system that's going to kind of match binary a little better, so we can chunk it out and make it easy to refer to and talk about. So, what's this? Only nerds use octal. Alright. Well, we aren't a ROM hacking endeavor. So let's go one more up. We'll chunk it out by 4s. How's that sound, right? So here's our binary numbers counting up. Works just like math you're used to, except there's only 2 digits. We add 1 to that. We add 1, we have to carry it over. All that fun stuff. Here's what we'll do. We'll start using our numbers again to chunk it up to 4. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Well, we're out of numbers. So fuck it, let's start using letters. A, B, C, D, E, F. Bang. This is hexadecimal. It's a base 16 numbering system. You're going to see it a lot in memory and in memory addresses and opcode instructions and everywhere, because it's basically kind of a shorthand for binary. Instead of this 8-bit instruction, which wouldn't be so bad to write out, I guess, we just make that into... Actually, let's look at my table here like an idiot. 6. Without looking, is that a B? Hey, okay, 6B. This 8-bit instruction becomes, I looked it up, 9. Without looking, E? Nice. That's another 9 to 0. This is 9E90. And, someone's saying something about a parity bit, but that's not the case here. This is actually relatively just pure math in a way that we're talking about right now. So nothing like parity bits or overflow or any of that shit comes into play here. I'm really bad at writing random bits, also, it looks like. Was that a B? EDB 9. The point I'm getting at is, though, looking for a big string like this, 100111010, I even messed it up saying it, is a lot harder than looking for 9E90. For example, I can tell you right now, we found that Yato in the last stream at 5DD10 in the memory address. I swear to you to this day, I didn't look that up before the stream. I just remember it because we looked for it so hard. Also, 5DD10 is not super hard to remember. But if you can imagine, 5DD10 is way easier to remember than... Oh god. 101... No, technically I need leading bits, so it'd actually be 000000101 1101. Is that D? See? Anyway, this is what you're looking at on the left. All these like letters and numbers. You'll notice none of the letters go above F. All the numbers and letters from A to F, or 0 to 9 and A to F, are represented. That's what this really is. Is this helpful? Okay, so excuse me. The only other thing here to know. Okay, so one thing you might also notice, I said 8-bit instructions. So if you've ever seen some video games, especially in their sound tests on the Sega Genesis I saw, or like if you do stage selects tricks, if you ever see them count up, they go 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 9, and then they'll go to 0A, 0B, 0C. That's because, again, these were bytes that the programmers didn't bother making into like human readable numbers, because back then in early systems you had to actually do that. They would just, because they said it's just debug menu shit, I don't care, you know. So you get like weird numbering things like that. There's a lot of mathematical things that fall out of this, because we're technically in the realm of discrete mathematics now, but that's kind of out of the scope of the matter. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because we glossed over this last time, was character encoding, and I was talking a lot about Shift.js, and I was looking for that and things like that. So here's another question for you. Let's say you out there want to design your own little computer or software or something, and you want to transmit text, like cat, C-A-T, capital letters. How do you do it? Because computers, well, they don't think in binary, but they don't use letters, they don't use characters or anything. They use numbers, you know. So how do you do that? Well, okay, let's have a numbering system. We're just gonna make this up right now, you and me. Yes, you and me. Here's what we'll do. Let's reserve, just for easy math and all that stuff, we'll say 0 is a special character we're never gonna use. We'll say 1 is capital A, excuse me, 2 is capital B, 3 is capital C. You get the idea. You know, 12 is, what is 12? The one before it's L, 13 is M, all that fun shit. And then 26 is Z, of course. Oh, wait, fuck, forgot lowercase. Alright, we'll have 27 be lowercase a, 28 be lowercase b, 29 lowercase c, etc. And some of you might be a little confused, like, why am I doing this? And part of the reason is because one day you're going to have to store data in memory, like so. That data will be in a hexadecimal number, well, really a binary number, well, really a magnetic a series of magnetic charges as presence and absences, whatever. Anyway, it's going to be a number. So your software is going to have to look at that number and say, oh, I encountered the number 26. And by the way, I'm using decimal here. That doesn't really matter, I guess. But whatever. I see 26. I'm going to look up the character. My software is going to say, I'll use that 26 to know to look up a font file, find the letter Z it's associated with, draw that on a screen, and then go to the next byte in the word or sentence that I'm printing. Is that clear? Anyway, all right. So that's a character encoding, more or less. All right. Here's the question. Oh, shit. Devious Vacuum is here, and she's probably a lot better at this than I am. So I'm going to fuck up. But whatever. Let's say you're interfacing with somebody else who's writing a similar type of software deal, and you have to transmit messages to each other or something like that. However, that jerk decided, That jerk decided, okay, I want to keep capital and lowercase letters next to each other. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say 1 is A, 2 is lowercase a, this is B, this is lowercase b, etc., etc., etc. Your character encodings don't match up. So one day, when this person reads, sorry, what do you call it? Sorry, Devious Vacuum works in robotics, so she makes me nervous. But anyway, not nervous, but anyway, I gotta be right about everything. These fucking nerds who are smarter than me. Anyway, my point is this. So let's say I transmit the string cat in all caps to him. In my character encoding, I'm gonna pass over 3120. Really, like, 3120, like that. When he receives it, though, and he goes to read it, he's gonna see, like, capital B, capital A. The hell's even 20? Is that lowercase j? Yeah, Baj, this is totally wrong. The trick is that when you receive textual data, it's all numbers being transmitted. The software's got to read it and associate with a font file. And the idea is, if you run into systems like this where one person encodes data one way and another way, you're going to get mismatches like that, and it's not going to make any sense whatsoever. So, in America, thank you, Jack, we use a little thing called ASCII, which stands for the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And you can see this is kind of the standardized system that we start with. Is it 42, I hope, that starts the letter A? No. What was it? 41. Oh, and 41 hex, right. So you can see here, there's all, like, punctuation. Can you guys see that all right? I'll zoom in. 60, so you have, like, yeah, there's the letter A, things like that. So, this is all fine and well and good for academic discussion, and you're probably like, slowbeef, that's great, what do I give a fuck? When you're ROM hacking and all this shit, you are looking for character encodings, and the best place to start, or I shouldn't say the best place, but one place you can start is with another common encoding called ShiftJIS. So one day back, actually Microsoft invented ShiftJIS to sort of to say, well, we need a character encoding for other languages, we need Japanese. So in our ShiftJIS examples that we've seen here and things like that, we know that like 815B in hex is that Japanese long hyphen. Maybe in Cyrillic, that's something else. Maybe in Arabic or Hebrew or whatever, 815B, those 2 bytes, means something entirely different. So the notion is you want to find the right character encoding that matches the numbers that you're getting from the source. An example of this would be, I'm sure you've seen this, like, I should have pulled up an example of this before, but if you ever look at an international web page and sometimes your browser displays like squares because it's from a different language, whatever your browser's character coding is set to is saying like, hey, I got like a weird number like 76cc, I don't know what that is. And if you switch the browser's character encoding to the right one, then it'll say, oh, I get it, that's Cyrillic, I don't know, backwards P, whatever's in the Tetris title, I have no idea. So, So this is the trick. Again, games all use their own proprietary character encodings. a lot of them use Shift.js because it's a relatively small way to encode Japanese with kanji. There's not a lot of extra characters and stuff, so your font files are they're huge still, but they're relatively small. And when you're trying to pack all this shit on a game disk, that's kind of what you go with. But as we found, actually, Dead of the Brain does not quite use this. They are using Shift.js for their katakana and their kanji, but their hiragana is something else. It's a single byte encoding. Why did they do this? We'll never know because we don't have the source code available. All we have is the compiled binary and all the data that comes with it and stuff. The only thing I can guess is that this was a compression technique, like a really low rent compression technique, where one of the programmers said, "You know what? We know we're eating 2 bytes at a character in Shift.js. So why don't we take the most common characters, hiragana, we'll shorten that to a 1 byte sequence, and our text reader, whenever it sees 1 byte, we know that's hiragana. When we see something prepended with an 83, we know that's katakana, like Shift.js, and if we see something prepended with an 84 or above, we know it's kanji, just like Shift.js. So that kinda sorta sucks for us because when we write our text extractors and things like that, we're gonna have to account for that. But what's good about it is it's not real compression, in which case, oh god, we'd be in trouble. This is all okay, so there you go. That's hexadecimal and character encodings in a crash course, more or less, that I kind of sort of I don't know, came up with at work today. At any rate, more important questions. How do we get this thing to English? What do we want to do? What we'd ultimately like to do is we'd like to take the game files. Where is Disk Explorer? Where is it? Disk Edit? Oh, it's Edit Disk. You're going to be running a lot of weird EXEs in ROM hacking. Yeah, so we're going to use the Annex86 file directory. I just guessed on that, by the way, but it seems right. As I understand it, these old PC98 disks are the same as DOS. I think I might be repeating myself here. And I also guessed that it's in these MES files. And one thing I didn't expect to happen is after the last stream, a couple people who liked it decided to write to explore on their own. QCR wrote a text extractor in Python already. Drastic Action wrote a text extractor and replacer, of all things, in C#. And it's kind of tough to know what to do with it. So basically what I kind of want this to be a bit educational, so I think we're going to still try to write our own text extractor. I haven't decided on a language. Maybe my Ruby is very rusty. Maybe we'll go with there. And we're going to try and write a text extractor. For those of you budding people who want to do ROM hacking, translation ROM hacking on your own, you're going to probably want to output a file, and your file is going to be something on the order of like, however you want it. Police Knots is something like, which is the address where it found the text and the length of it. I never, ever, ever used that. That was what their old programmer did, but whatever. And they had something like Japanese. I don't have the thing to type Japanese. Why am I just running out? Like ko -ru yato yato. Oh, I don't know what this is. What is it? Nitsuitaka. Period. Whatever. And then you're going to have a blank English string. You just print that out. You do that for the next one, etc. And you have your whole document like that. And the idea is you pass this over to a translator, someone who speaks Japanese rather fluently, has access to the whole game, and they write it for you. They kind of fill out a form that says, I forget what this is. This is like, I'm finally home. And then go to the next sentence. You have something else just like that. This one I tried to translate on my own, but wow, I got fucking lost. Ronan told me what it was years back. And if I remember, I think I mentioned this in the last stream. It's something like Cole's complaining that he had to do painting even though that's part of his job, and he's really tired, etc. Also, I never noticed the AI8E stuff in the background here. I wonder what that is. Well, maybe later on we can get into changing graphics and stuff. I don't know that I would make this a full localization project, but my first thing is that these 2 exclamation points have got to go. Totally an accident here at Slowbeef Industries. All right, enough bullshit. Let's get to the let's get our elbows dirty. What? All right. Again, I'm using 010. I think I'm gonna buy the full version of it. We knew that Yapo, we found out, was at 74F54, right? And here it is. So again, we know our character encoding. Let's reload save state, which we're editing save states directly right for now, just because it's a super fast memory swap. It's really the most, far and away, the most efficient way to do this. It's also the easiest way in the world to save over your work, so absolutely copy your save states over there. I can't tell you how many fucking things I've blown away with an errant F5. One other pitfall, if you ever do decide to do this, by the way, I forgot to mention this in the hexadecimal section. Don't do hex math on your own. When you see 5 plus 6, your mind just goes 11 like nothing. And in hex, 5 plus 6 is actually B. And that will never ever feel natural to you. So always break out Windows Calculator for those. Anyway, just to prove it out again, this is 70, 54F. What are these two dots? What are the dots? The bots very strangely look like that. Just eyeballing it, BA280E. BA280A, and the only reason I say that is just because looking back from 74F 54, yeah, just looking backwards from the Yato, it seems like these 3-byte sequences are the daughter. Maybe zoom in a bit. How do you zoom in on this fucking thing? Ah, control plus plus? What is that? No, just control plus. Alright. Actually, that's better for me. Yeah, that is better for me, actually. Oh, you can see, by the way, since I changed the character encoding to Shift-JIS, it's trying to figure out the Japanese here. The only thing is, BA280E is certainly not Shift-JIS. I don't know what that is, but I mean, the game seems to think that's double period for some reason or another. So we know that. BA. We're obviously not going to find like each and everything. We don't have to. We know the 4F to 70 range so far. Probably less than that, more than that, but that's all we know for now. And we know 89C6 is kanji. So I think that's everything in the 84 range. Oh, the music. Oh, wait, are you? Oh, yeah, I turned down the volume for myself, right? Let's see here. It is kanji. Alright, so we got that down. What next? Well, here's a weird question, too. What comes before BA? Like, what is this thing? BA23. Is that a colon? So, quick question. What's a good way to find out what a character is, or is supposed to be in this stuff? Is you just change it and see what happens. Let's change that to a 22. Reload memory. Oh. And broke the game. Awesome. That's always fun. So BA23, is that a control code? Might be a control code. Control code is something that's not a character to be printed. It's like a string terminator, like null, or just a symbol that tells it to do a thing, like switch colors or something. We'll figure it out. Anyway, here's Yato, here's our kanji. 57, 50, 30. Oh, let me reload this state. Oh, Nurion SA has a good point. Could be a control code or string length. I didn't even think about that. String length. Yeah, but wait, 20. If it was string length, I would have expected it to have cut off the period if I cut it down by 1. Hexadecimal too, right? So 23 would be 1, 2. Yeah, I don't think that's it, but we have a 30 here. So anyway, 89C6 is the kanji. So 57, 50, 30 is E. That lowers our range. So we know 30 to 70 is hiragana at least. 4B would be ta. 37 would be the ka. BA280F. Alright, this is weird. BA... Huh. That's the period. What the fuck? So BA280E is the double ellipses. BA280F is the period. Let me increase that size for you. Zoom, there we are. Ah! What the fuck do I do? This control plus, numpad plus. Alright. Why do they have 3-byte punctuation? That makes no, like, especially if you were doing the single byte hiragana thing to save yourself space, why would you ever do this? Okay, then we have BA26, don't know. BA29, don't know. Let's see what Cole says next. Kanji. I know that kanji too. So the question is, when does the next sentence begin? And I'm looking at this 91E5. There's a 91CC right after it. 91 we know is a kanji range, or we think it is anyway. Here's 2 kanjis, followed by a punctuation, which means after the 91E5 and the 91CC. Yep, look, BA280D. BA280D, we know is this that weird comma. Yeah. So what's confusing to me is I wonder what does the game use to tell it that the string's over? 91 is that first. 91's the second one. So we have a mysterious BA26 and a mysterious BA23. Oops. Look, wait. Oh, BA23 was there before. Look, at the beginning. Right before the 2 punctuation marks here. See, here's BA23 again. Alright, BA23, I'm thinking, is string terminator. Okay. So, what's the trick? How do we prove that out? Well, the easiest way is... I'm thinking BA23 is end of string, actually. Doom 1337. I think it's more about terminating the string. When we get into what starts the string, like text pointers and shit, that's when things get really fun, so to speak. Alright. Just... stat. Hey, stat. Load 0. Alright, how do we prove this out? You ask. Alright, if BA23 really is the string terminator, I can replace the kanji with it, and this should end right at after yato. So, start again. We have, so is it BA23? Oh, yeah, someone says switch to the kanji for BA2. Perfect. Awesome. So let's reload the save state, see if we're okay. Whoa. What? Wow. Alright. That's a name tag. Holy shit. Huh. Yeah, it is a string start. How about that? BA23. If I change you to 24. Let me undo stuff. I don't want to change too much at once. So I'm going to change you to... I have another idea. BA24. Let's reload state. Cougar. Cougar. Yeah. Alright, so... Yeah, Police Knots did something like this, but not the same thing at all. I didn't expect that at all. BA24. If we like, we could go through all the characters in the game, but let's... I'm gonna bet this starts at 21. Frozen... Whoa! Did not expect that to happen. Alright, so this is just, this is one thing I like, though. See this right here? This thing has half-width font in it somewhere. Oh, okay. So you guys are cool if I, like, reinvent the wheel a bit, just for edification purposes, instead of going straight to QCR and Drastic Actions code? Alright, it seems like you are. I don't know. We'll keep going. Let's see. BA21, I don't know what the fuck that did. You know what you could do? Don't want to go here right now? Toggle breakpoint. How do I want to make a breakpoint here? Breakpoint. Dead of the Brain was for PC 98. Breakpoints. What have we got? Alright. Maybe we're not there yet. Alright. What am I thinking? Okay, if B8... Hold on. If BA23 is the call tag, then what's BA26? That's the terminator, right? Again, let's prove that out. Replace our kanji with BA26. Should probably get in a breakpoint at some point. So this time... Yep, just like we think. What? Okay. Oh, the music stopped. Did it stop? Oh, no, it's still going. Okay. Wow, that's really... Is that so unexpected? I guess I'm confused here because this... I'm surprised it just went to the very next string. Like, it knew to end the dialog box, and then it just kept going. There's, like, no text pointer or anything? I guess that is it. That's so weird. Yeah, I want to get into breakpoints, definitely. I don't know how to do them in this program, unfortunately. Save states, disk, screen, device, memory, tools. How the hell do I make a memory? I mean, I know that debug utility, breakpoints, toggle breakpoint. How does it even know like where I'm putting the breakpoint though? 5 DD10. Ooh, this is a little. Oh, this is more into the architecture than I was expecting to go tonight. Huh. Alright, let's take a step back. Beef, are you savvy at all in expanding the space line for the dialogue? Andy, how's your ASM? Well, we'll find out. Expanding the whole ROM. Depends. You know, these are floppy disks. I don't know how much space is left, etc. You can go to memory view and instead of breakpoint there, it says run. Memory map. Memory map, maybe? Or... What the fuck is this thing? This is a very weird program to write. Or use. Yeah, drastic actions is right. Edit menu of the debug window, I believe. No mode menu. Main memory dump. I don't know if I need to anymore though, because this isn't doing what I thought it was. Alright, what I thought would happen is we'd be looking for text pointers or something, but it looks like this just... Oh, well, it's the intro. Yeah, it's a cutscene, so I guess it would just serially go through every sentence. Well, that's weird. Don't worry, harmful jerky. We'll get into ASM. I'm gonna make you fucking like it. Oh, 40A00. Wrong place. There it is. 40A00. Oh, there might be a header or something. Hold on. Yeah, this stupid thing. Neko Project 2. Yeah, they put a header here. Sorry, one sec. Let me see where this 4C2C46. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the beginning of memory. Yeah, well, look at that. See, in the save state, they have a thing marking the save state file. They have a thing marking off memory at 230H. Okay, 230H. So remember that's hex, right? So what was I looking for? I was looking for 70, 24, 46. I'm nervous now. Shit. D4 54. All right. Yeah, this one. This is 40A00. All right. So in the save state, this is 40. Jesus. Okay. This is 40A00 in the file. The file has a header of 230, so we're going to subtract 230. So in real memory, 4D7D0. Where was I? 4D7. Did I say D0? Yeah. Here we go. BA2808. Yeah, here's our Yato. Here's our BA28. Now, okay. I just noticed something in memory. See all these nulls up here? That seems like the start of a file. Now I'm just curious about something. So this file starts at 4D930 in the save state, minus a 230 header, 4D700. Why am I looking for that, you ask? Good question. I don't know this. But I have a hunch. If I look for 04D700. Come on. Damn it. What about the other way? D704. I was hoping we would find something like, was it open1.mes, you know, open2.mes. That's weird though. This is kind of close to the location. This like open1.mes thing. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of lost in my own thoughts for a second. Okay, so here's the deal. So we have it in the save state. Let's take a look at the game files, which we extracted from this extractor. We'll look at this MES file, which I think is suspicious. Oh, the 001 thing doesn't have it, per se, but it does have... Yeah, we can see some of kanji. Here's probably some more hiragana and that stupid single byte. Yeah, and there's our BA280F. So these are text files. But we're looking for, I think, open. Open is a short, well, relatively short file. It starts at BCA203. Let's go back to our save state. Where did I say we were? 40... 74F, 54. Oops, sorry. Future hex. Chateau. Starts with BC. Starts with the hex string. This file, I think, starts with the hex string BC A20E59B925. Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of open1.mes BC A20E59B925A2. This is, in fact, the text file that we are going to have to edit for the intro. So, the goal is, of course, to write a program that's going to extract all the text and put it in a nice little file for us to read or something. The point is we want to get the Japanese out of this file. Excuse me. So, now what? This took me about, how long we've been recording? 56 minutes? So, probably in that time, Drastic Action already has this whole thing done, and QCR is working on Marine Fill. Okay. Oh, alright. See what we're building to. Oh yeah, we're building to this, exactly. Thank you, Drastic Action. This is our goal. I don't want to read too far ahead in case you found something else. Alright. Let's just take a short break if you don't mind. You know, there is one thing we could do to streamline this process, which I wouldn't mind, because I'm going to tell you all now, I don't speak Japanese, I don't read it, I don't write it, I can do the kana, and that's kind of it. Maybe some kanji. However, damn it, Drastic, where is that link I just clicked on before? There we go. Stupid chat. Hold on a second. There it is. The question is... Yep. RN, this is for you. Or anyone else. So, that is, of course... Okay. So yeah, we are going to need that in English at some point, and I can't do that, so... Yeah, crowdsource, says Terra. Actually, no, joke, I was thinking of that. I was actually thinking of kind of let's playing Japanese games and putting it on a wiki for people to, like, do. But translation is kind of a weird thing. Some people, like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Sometimes you run into people who think they know a lot of Japanese, and it turns out they don't. Like me. The question I guess I'll ask all of you is, what language do we want to write the text extractor in? And in fact, are we in a position where we could write it? I think we're in an okay place. We kind of know where things start, right? They start with gato. right? What am I looking at? I'm looking for my notes. Yeah, we know. Where the fuck's Yato? Yato again. Sorry. There it is. So let's go back to OpenIS. Alright, it's right about here we know. We know it starts with a BA23. Huh. Sorry, now I'm looking backwards. What is... Alright, so BA280E was those double ellipses. The hell is AA88280A? I think that might be a coincidence. Maybe? Oh, wait, what's this? Look above here. File names, music. Bone5.uso. Graphic, graph, FFR. Graphblop2.gpc. Oh, you know what we have to do. Oh, you know what we have to do. File is read-only. Fuck you, file is read-only. It's my goddamn computer. Hold on. We gotta read-only my ass. Okay. We gotta change blop01. We gotta change blop01, see what happens, right? So graph, you see what I'm looking at, by the way? It's like, look, there's a file location, blop01.gpc. We're gonna change that. Why is file is absolutely not read-only, motherfucker? Oh, I'm doing the wrong. Hold on a minute. There. Christ. I'm hoping. What does BLOP stand for? I wonder. Wrong file. Yeah. 32. Okay. How do we get the file back in? Oh, it's very easy. We take, by the way, always keep a copy, like a master copy of the shit you're ROM hacking around, because you will fuck up your copy of it. So let's, what do you say? You guys want to fuck with this? Drag it in? I keep doing 001. It's not that one. Open. Hey. Drag it back in. Yes, I will replace that. Alright. Let us go back to Neko Project. Set our emulator and see what happens, I guess, right? I don't know what'll happen. I never tried this, honestly. I don't believe nothing happened. As in, I actually don't believe nothing happened. Wait. Nothing have happened. No. I don't believe nothing happened. Seriously, don't believe nothing happened. Let's just very quickly do a save state 9 here. And then let's very quickly open it up real quick here. Not hex bytes. What was the name of that file? It was like blop some shit. Blop02.gpc. Wait. Here to the original one. Yeah, there's three file locations in the first one, and there's only one in the save state. So I don't believe this did. In fact, I think this is going to change once Kruger comes on screen. Cougar, rather. No! How? Huh. I didn't see that. Alright, I'm kind of unaware here of what that file does, or... Yeah. Alright. That's a little perplexing. Will not lie to you. What's with that? You can change those files if you change this one. Let's see. What's up, soy socks? Huh. Alright. Something else I want to take a look at just very quickly, if you don't mind. Save state 8. New game. Straight up ASCII, huh? Sorry, anyway. A4. Ooh. A2, 2120, A4, 2120, A4, 2120. I'm just thinking. I'm sorry, I had an idea. It's a weird one. Alright, just give me one weird idea. That's broken. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Look, up here. Error. I can't read that for shit. Huh. Anyway. Sorry about that. I thought I came up on something weird. Anyway, alright. Back to where we were. Open1.mes. We know that it starts BA23 here. I don't think we need to care too much about this stuff. So, all right. So let's cheat a little. Let's make a new file. see. Just going to dev. This directory is getting ugly already, so ow.